Welcome, children of light. You've tuned into the Phoenician Star, and my name is Eva. We're going to begin by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. I will not count down or count you through it. I want you to breathe at your own pace. I want you to get comfortable to the rhythm of your own breathing because there is power in it. Let's go. I'm tapping into someone who has either some stagnant or negative energy trapped under their armpits. And as weird as that sounds, what I'm going to ask you to do is, like, maybe throughout the day when you stretch, make sure that you're putting your arms above your head. Rest your hands on top of your head, or when you lay down, you kind of put your hands up so that your armpits and your underarms are exposed, and some of that energy can go its merry way. Now, there are a few messages that are coming out, and I'm going to try to relay them before I get into the cards. Yesterday, it came out about being in the underworld, that you have now kind of been sucked under. You have nothing. Whether this is really in the physical sense or the spiritual sense, you're being presented with you're having to face death and fear and all of the ugly things, all of the past ghosts that you have buried. You're going through this because spirit, as well as your higher self, needs to know that you're fit for the fight. It needs to know that you can take whatever it is that's going to be thrown at you in the next phase of life, and that you're going to be able to pull yourself back up. Because if you can pull yourself up out of the underworld, then you can accomplish anything. In this next phase of life, there's going to be a lot of people talking about you, and I feel like for my listeners, this is nothing new to you because people have been talking about you all your life. But it's just going to get a whole lot more widespread. People are your strangers who you don't even know are going to, have a lot bad to say about you and a lot good to say about you. And no matter what it is that people are saying, good or bad, you're going to have to be completely centered in who you are, what you stand for, what your drive is, what your purpose is. So you are being stripped completely bare of everything so that you can get to know you and spirit can strengthen you. But it still poses a question of whether or not you are going to stay there in the underworld, whether or not you are going to master all that is being thrown at you, master your own demons, get you a few friends while you're down there and come up, or if you're going to stay in the underworld because it's comfortable to sit in your anger, to sit in your fear, to not move. The decision is really up to you. Now, also, it came out yesterday, a couple of questions, and I thought I was going to have to tap back into this. But it came out yesterday, what makes a man, meaning human, not, gender related, what makes a man believe that he is God-like? What makes one man master his surroundings while the other is enslaved to it? And also, what gives man the authority to rule over another? And if it is, you know how they say, like, we're made in God's image, all of us have a piece of the divine in us. And if it is our divine DNA that makes us feel like we are God-like and we can accomplish anything, then why doesn't everybody use it? Or, that's what I want to say. Why doesn't everybody use it? The reading is going to be based on how you can activate your divine DNA. It's not coming out what you should do with it. For one, it's not my place to say, and for two, your spirit team wants you to understand the concept of free will. You have divine DNA whether you want it or not. But once it's activated, what you do with it is going to be up to you. That's the concept of free will. You can do whatever you want to do. Not meaning that you should, not meaning that you can't, but you got to decide for yourself what it is that you want to do. Now, I have two decks out because both of them was calling to me for some reason. So we'll just I'm just gonna go with it. Okay. Okay. For those of you who feel like you have lost your strength, you'll get it back. You're going to get your ambition back. You're going to hone down on what it is that you're doing while you're doing it. And also, it's also coming out that some of you are going to find out that while you're doing things, the reason that you're moving the way that you move, the reason you're chasing the things that you're chasing is because you are very selfish at heart. And I don't mean that with judgment. I'm just saying some of you are going to find out, oh, the reason I'm doing this is really because I want money. It's really not to help nobody. And then some of you are going to feel the opposite. You're going to feel like, okay, the money is nice, but I do want to help people. It's going to be different for each person. But the message that's really coming out is saying that just because you have a natural raw talent does not mean that you don't deserve to be compensated for it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to use your gifts to fund your lifestyle. You don't go to a doctor and say, hey doc, I need this heart surgery. You should do it for free because you love helping people. Well, that should be the case. I personally, here's my opinion here. Personally, I feel like doctors should get in the game to help people. That should be the top priority. However, the doctor still has to eat. The doctor still has to have somewhere to live. And so to ask them to do something for free is kind of unfair to them because they still have to live. While they're helping you live, they still have to maintain a lifestyle. Do what you will with that. I'm just telling you what came out. Let's see. If I didn't already say this, I'm gonna have to touch on it. I'm pushing 40. And what I realize now, in my older age, is that I am almost an expert at studying people. And this happened to me by accident. For the majority of my life, I have been able to notice auras, and I have been studying people, and I've been studying their behaviors. And what I found is that people they're not always who they say or pretend that they are. Confidence is coming out a lot. And the things that you have been told about confidence are actually a lie. The people that you see on TV who are always saying, oh, you have to be confident, you have to be this, they're not actually confident. That's an act that they're putting on to make you feel less than what you are, because confidence looks different for each person, and confidence to them looks the way that they present it, but it's an act, it's not real. The people that are in power at your job, the people in your community who walk around like they have everything all together, they're not actually confident, it's an act. And your spiritual team, again, has to show you in this underworld. You have to decide what confidence is for you and how you are going to walk in that confidence. You don't have to look like everybody else. You don't have to talk like everybody else. You don't have to move around this earth like everybody else. But you do, beyond all else, have to know thyself. You have to know who you are. You have to know what your purpose is, what you're driven by, what your flaws are, and not be so high up that you can't admit, hey, I'm not perfect. Because your admittance will not only help you really don't know who else it could help as well. Now, I'm not saying divulge all your secrets to your enemies. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there are some people who can be helped by your humility to admit that as fabulous as you are. Where did that come from? That sounded like a frog. That as fabulous as you are, that you do have flaws, you do have your own struggles. Going through this underworld is going to help you love yourself more. Someone or something is going to absolutely love your what is going on? It's going to absolutely love you in this underworld. You are going to gain friends while you're down here at the bottom. Spiritual friends who are going to come back and ascend with you, and who are really not going to play about you. And you need that. You need some rugged people on your spiritual team who really aren't going to play. Somebody kind of needs to move their body around and get their blood flowing. You are going. Another thing, this is specific, but it is for more than one person. You're going to realize in this underworld that you are not healthy. That You need to exercise, and you don't have to like go and get a gym membership unless that's for you. You can work out around the house. Somebody is having a lot of pain in their legs or in their feet. Um, yeah, you guys need to start stretching. My goodness. Um, oh, hold on a second. This is deep. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if I said this or not, but the concept of free will, you deciding what it is that you want to do with your divine DNA, with the power that you have within you, within your life force. Um, you coming out of this underworld is going to be up to you whether or not you do it. You can sit there and you can wallow and you can just be comfortable in your underworld realm. But if you want to ascend, you can. The choice is really up to you. Whatever you do in life as well is up to you. Like the things that you go after, your goals, your all of that, it's up to you. It's coming out that you need to, the Hierophant is not out here, but it's almost like you need to make a sound decision of what it is that you want in life and move forward with it. Whether or not you get it, it's going to be something totally different, but the spirit needs to know that you are willing to do what it takes to get the things that you want. They might have something totally different for you, but they need to see you. They need to see you moving. They need to see you powering up. There was something else and I lost it. Maybe it wasn't important. I'm going to keep going. For some of you, luxury is within grasp. And it's somebody needs to hear that it's okay to want luxury. I feel like we have been, especially religious people, we have been taught that suffering is it makes you closer to the divine. It's your surefire way of getting into heaven when you can suffer, and that's not entirely true. I'm not sure what I believe about it, so I don't want to speak like I'm an expert, but there is a disconnect in my logical mind as well as a major one in my spiritual mind, that you don't have to go through so much suffering to be close to God, to be close to spirit. That it's okay to want to not worry about how you're going to pay your bills or what you're going to eat. Really, our divine birthright is to not have to pay bills, to not have to worry about what we're going to eat. We're supposed to be farming our land and eating off the land and living on the land. We're supposed, like, all of this stuff is supposed to be free. It's just that human has made it to where it's not, has made life a whole lot harder than what it's supposed to be. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back on track. You feel like an outsider, but that's okay. Be an outsider and tend to your crop. Tend to what's going on in this underworld. Learn yourself. Somebody needs to admit the fact that they're not good at their job. Somebody needs to admit the fact that they are not consistent. And this is without judgment. Please allow me to hold space for you to be imperfect right here. Let's say you're not attractive. Let's say you're short. Let's say you're too tall. Let's say you're too big. Let's say you're too small. Let's say that you don't speak articulately. Let's say that you're sort of a hard ass. Let's say that you're a pushover. Whatever you are that's imperfect, that is not right, please drop it right here. I can take it for the moment. Don't just always dump on me, but for right now, just drop it. Admit it. Hey, I'm all these things. Something is horribly wrong with me. There. And leave it in the underworld. Keep moving. Going on to the next level. So what? You're not attractive. So what? So what? You're not consistent. You're not good at your job. Get another. Okay. All right. You can leave all that alone. No one is perfect. And right here, for right now, in this second, don't judge yourself. I will not judge you, and I just want you to drop it. Acknowledge it, because for some reason, if you don't acknowledge how dreadfully awful you are, you won't be able to move up, okay? So you have to admit it, but I do need you to drop it. You do feel like an outsider. You do want to celebrate with people, but you have not found your soul tribe. Give me just a second. What does that mean? Okay. You may feel like people are coming for you, like they're challenging you, like they're trying to tempt you, test you, push you, and they are. Okay, they are. And they may not be doing it, they may not know that they're doing it themselves, but the whole universe, spirit, all of us working together, and they have to push you to this next level. They need to push you to get ugly. And I mean, I don't say that as in, hey, I need you to cut somebody out. I need you to get somebody told. I need you to lay hands on them. I'm not saying none of that. But you have got to, going through the underworld, you have got to confront fear, danger, death, hardship, brokenness, all of that. You've got to confront that in yourself as well as other people, because remember that the underworld is not just full of you. It's full of other people who are, in the underworld, who are in hell. So you are going to confront people who are tormented themselves, who are pushing you towards better in you, as well as you are pushing better in them. And you can't really... Okay, something came out months and months ago. I can't remember what reading it was, but it says something along the lines of your spirit challenges other people on a deep level that you don't understand and they don't understand. But when they come around you, they feel like they either don't like you or they like you. But whatever the case is, they feel like they have to rise to the occasion. You kind of jolt their spirit into some type of awakening, whether or not you realize this. The same thing is happening in the underworld. Even though you have taken off your light cloak, even though you have taken off your holier than thou aura, whatever it is, that's who you are. You're still a very triggering person, no matter what it is that you say or do, no matter how you act. Even if you don't say anything, your silence is triggering. So you are triggering people around you. You're not the only one going through the underworld right now. Everybody else is too. And everybody else is going to be confronted with whether or not they want to rise up and ascend and go through the underworld and, get better. But again, this is free will. You will only ascend if you want to. I feel like I've said a lot. I can't remember everything I said. Is there anything to close this out, I guess? The Hierophant card is out, and I think I was just talking about that. You've got to decide whether or not you want to ascend. But you are going to have to understand that right now you are pinned. You can't move anywhere, but it's like, I don't know if I said this yesterday or not, but it's like you can't see in front of you. You can stretch out your hand all you want, but you can't even see your hand right now because there's nothing but darkness around you, because that's what the underworld is. There are not even torches where you are right now. The only thing that you can do is take the next step and hope that you don't fall into another, abyss. And I say hope that you don't, but understand that you probably will, because that's what the underworld is. It's very tricky. It's very dark. You're not going to see where you're going. You're going to stumble. You're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to cry. I'm even seeing somebody throw up. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. But help guide you through it, and know that you've got to face yourself. You got to face these ugly parts of yourself. You got to leave it right there in the underworld, and you need to master it as well. Start mastering everything that you come up against, okay? I asked how to tap into the divine DNA, but all that other stuff came out. I hope that was helpful. I can't remember all. Okay, you need to sleep also. You also need to pray for protection. You also need to drink a lot of water. Um, mm. Somebody's gonna have some really good sex. Congratulations. Congratulations. But that's not the only thing that came out. Um I got sidetracked. Give me a second. It's really just the same message that I keep repeating, that you can win this if you want to. This is still like your free will. You're gonna learn the power of free will. I'm gonna have to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. I wish you luck in your journey, and thank you for tuning in, and follow your own star, and take deep breaths, and honor yourself, and all that good stuff. All right. Talk to you next time.